Welcome back, guys, to the Spurgeon Piper. This is Wilson with you. How familiar are you with metal pipes? Now, you're certainly familiar with wood pipes. That's what everyone thinks of, as you see here, especially briarwood, and you have your cherry and your olive wood and things like that. You have your corn cobs. We have a connection with corn cob pipes. And then you even have your clay pipes, which have a rich history. You find them in old images and paintings. But metal pipes, now that is one we are not so accustomed to, and it's not as common or popular, but yet it does exist. And I have one here, and this is a Falcon pipe. Falcon makes the most, or is the most popular company that uses metal, and it uses aluminum as the main chunk of the material of the pipe, as the main source. So that's what this video is going to cover. If you are not familiar with it, or maybe you are, but you've been hesitant on putting money down for a pipe you're just not familiar with. I want to cover just a brief introduction to Falcon pipes, and I am grateful that Mike Maldonado, a Patreon supporter, sent this my way. It's the first one I've ever smoked. I've known about these pipes for a number of years, but to be honest with you, I just wasn't attracted to them. The look didn't catch me. Some say this looks like a futuristic pipe, and I kind of get what they're getting at. But I wasn't really attracted to it. Mike sent one my way, and I've been smoking it, and spoiler alert, I'm very satisfied and happy with it. So I want to just give you a bit of history on the Falcon pipe and some background, and I'll give you a closer look and maybe point to some pros, things I like about it, and we'll go on from there. But first, just to give you a bit of history, Iwan Rees has a good write-up on his website, and it does say, like so many fine things, a Falcon pipe is an American invention, patented by Kinley Bugg of Fort Wayne, Indiana in 1936. Bugg's desire was to create a pipe that smoked consistently, cool, and dry. His engineering background directed him towards designing a corkscrew aluminum stem system that would twist and cool the smoke, causing the moisture to condense and be trapped in a sink he incorporated below the interchangeable briar bowl. His patented Falcon pipes were first produced and marketed in limited numbers in 1940, but the lack of raw materials due to the war hindered mass marketing. In 1949, with materials available, real production began. The Falcon was an immediate success with 6 million units sold in America alone by 1954. In 1963, this great American pipe moved production to its present large plant in Britain, where most of its 44 million Falcon pipes in circulation continued to be produced. And before I continue on showing you my own pipe, you can see here that you really can design your own pipe with this system. You can either get a chrome or bronze pipe, which the bronze looks a bit more wooden. And then you get a number of different sizes and shapes of the bowl themselves that you can interchange and use whenever you would like. So as far as where to find these, I'll let you locate them. I mentioned iwanrees.com. He has some on hand, and I know quite a number of other locations on website. Or a number of websites you'll be able to find. It's not that hard to locate, and they're fairly inexpensive. That's one of the pros already I can tell you about. This is not an inexpensive purchase. You're looking at just several, at least in the United States, you're looking at anywhere between the mid-20s to 40s to get your pipe kit ready to go. But let me go ahead and give you a look at my own and talk more about it. So here we have everything that comes with the kit that comes in this box. Likely you're going to buy a kit like this that comes with some of these dry rings and the pipe system itself, both with the bowl and the stem. It does come separate. Also comes with this information pamphlet that gives you some history and other sources or other designs that you can purchase as well. Let me give you a closer look. So you have this wood briar bowl right here, and it simply screws on with very much ease. You don't have to over tighten it or anything like that. As so, comes on and off very easily. And then the aluminum tubing comes through the stem as such. All right, so that is the shank, which you insert back. And then it goes into, of course, the bowl. You just think like any typical pipe design. But then here is where this is where the technology is, I suppose you would say. You have what they call the coup trap here in the humidome. So as you smoke, think of the pipe bowl on, you're smoking your tobacco, all of the moisture condenses down, which is caught by these rings here. And I'll show one of these to you a little further in a moment. but it condenses down, and with it being aluminum in a cooler system, it cools down the smoke as you do breathe in your tobacco. So again, it fills up. Most of this is very straightforward. If you smoked a pipe before, you're not going to have a problem, a learning curve necessarily with this. You load it and pack it just like any typical pipe. So just keep that in mind as you're going through. If you're a beginner, I'm not really concerned about you going forward with this. You're going to have no problems whatsoever. Any further instructions they do give you, so it's not a trial or a sophisticated system whatsoever. It's beginner friendly. Let me go ahead and show you what the pipe ring does. So this is the thing that's going to capture a lot of your moisture. So it almost acts like a filter. Most pipe filters are used because they filter out moisture, and that's usually the issue we have on hand as pipe smokers, this issue getting in the way. And so all you simply do, it has this point here on it, this metal point. It's a pipe cleaner, guys, a cut pipe cleaner, and you insert it into the hole in the shank or the stem, down into the bowl around the humidome, all right? And then you pack your pipe, or excuse me, you put on your bowl rather. And then you pack it, as I mentioned, and you smoke it. And then as you're done smoking, now whether it's one time or twice, and I've done both, I think you're supposed to replace the dry ring every smoke. I've done it twice, and I don't think I tasted anything negative out of it. But after you're done and it cools off, you take this out, and I'm not sure how I usually do it. I guess I usually use my pipe tool, check tool, and just pop it out, right? So it's gonna get all gunky. You're gonna notice you may not wanna use your hands if you're concerned about that, but you'll use a tool, knock it out, put another one in, and no problem. Now, let me go ahead and mention, being a cheapskate, I thought, hey, can I get by without buying this? I already have pipe cleaners. So I did attempt to just simply cut and make in a circle these pipe cleaners. I don't have one on hand, unfortunately, to show you, but I will say I had some success in just simply making my own dry ring. So when I run out, that will suffice. It does the job. It may not be as efficient, and this is already made for you, and it's really not that expensive, so I'm really just being a cheapskate. You don't have to do that, but that is a source if you so desire. Now, what is my experience? What are the issues, the pros, the cons, all that stuff? Is it smoke differently than a briar pipe? Does it have a weird taste? No, it doesn't have a weird taste. This smokes pretty much like a briar pipe. In fact, I would give more similarity to a meerschaum. Meerschaums just smoke very cool. This smokes really cool. It really does live up to the design or what was being sought after in the design. It really does give you cool smoke. There's no odd flavors like a metal flavor, anything like that. I mean, after all, you're using a briar bowl. And the way it whisks away moisture is really sufficient or efficient. It really does the job. So as the moisture collects down at the bottom of the humidome, it really does absorb it through this dry ring, and it really solves that issue, kind of acting like a filter again. But one thing I don't like about filters is they mess with the draw strength, the airway, and they can give off a certain flavor, which is one reason why I don't like them. But this one doesn't do that, and that's one thing I really appreciate about these pipes. So I would recommend them, especially with the price that you can find them for. They're inexpensive. You know, when it comes to like rotating and how often you can smoke it, that's something I'm not fully aware of, being that it is aluminum, at least here. I know it has a briar bowl. There may be some more grace in smoking this more often than a typical fully briar pipe or meerschaum pipe or what have you. So that might be another plus, but I really can't tell you there's a negative here. One has not come to mind other than the look. I can't say this is going to win me over with the look, but other than that, I'm really satisfied with it. So there's a quick review of it. There's the history of it and what I think of it. If you have any questions or comments yourself, if you tried it, you may have more experience than I do with it. And if you do, leave your comments below. Tell me something more about it that I don't know and that you can share with others. Guys, that's all I have this week. I hope you're doing well and you're blessed, and we'll talk to you very soon.